Where did you get that?
I stole it.
Yeah, Mia, that much I figured, but wasn't this documentary banned? I thought every copy was destroyed years ago.
Not this one.
Okay, this is actually pretty amazing. It almost feels haunted.
Probably is. Vigilantes were the death of Star City. And they got exactly what they deserved.
Alright, what is going on, guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Now today what we've got for you guys is another Arrow video. Now, I just want to start this off by saying a huge congratulations to the Arrow cast and crew and everyone else involved with the show on 150 amazing episodes of this series that we all love so much. So here's to at least another 50 more to get us to 200 episodes, but with them being already renewed for Season 8, it wouldn't be very surprising if Arrow was a show that lasted 10 plus seasons if it continues to be as good as it is now. But with that said, this episode wasn't just your typical episode of Arrow either. We had a good portion of the episode shot in a sort of found footage documentary style, allowing us to see the show from a completely different perspective. And I absolutely love this style for the episode, such a cool way to celebrate 150 episodes with a documentary rightfully titled Emerald Archer, the Hood, and the Rise of Vigilantism. So as I'm sure you guys can tell, I really enjoyed this episode. I loved seeing some fan favorite characters return for their little interview portions of the episode with their nice little cameos like Quentin and Sarah Lance, Thea, Roy, and even Ragman. So again, just such a cool style for an Arrow episode. And now, I know you guys saw it in the title and you may have picked up on it in the clip from the beginning or when you first watched the episode, but we just had a pretty big rumor confirmed to us within this last scene from the episode with Blackstar's identity, and I definitely freaked out a bit when I first picked up on it, but I'll get back to that a little bit later on in the video. Something else I found pretty interesting though with this episode had to do with the villain of the week, that being Chimera. He was going around collecting the masks of different vigilantes, and in addition to the Wild Dog, Amico, and Ragman masks, he also had the mask of Helena Bertinelli herself, aka Huntress. And the reason that this intrigued me is just based off of the fact that we do know that Laurel is going to be leading a Birds of Prey inspired team at some point this season. So was this hinting at the return of Huntress for that episode? I think it might. There was also some documentary style footage for a second or two within the episode with Huntress in it as well. I can't tell if this was brand new footage and shot for the episode or something from a past season, but if it was new, I think it could all but confirm that we will be seeing Huntress again properly later on this season, which I certainly hope ends up being the case. Outside of this though, we also had present day William return home and hang out with present day Zoe in a nice little nod to the future stuff, and again, don't worry, I'll get back to future stuff a bit later on, so don't worry about that. But the other big thing with the present day William story was the fact that he was actually expelled from his boarding school. Maybe he got caught hacking or something, I don't know, that would actually be pretty funny if that was the case. Anyway, William is a pretty good kid, so he probably didn't do anything too crazy to get himself expelled. If I had to guess, the fault probably lies with someone at the school or someone in charge of it, but it doesn't matter, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Next up though, I just want to briefly touch on the whole everyone getting deputized thing. I'm so glad that we can finally have Team Arrow all back together out in the field just like the old days. I never realized how much I missed all of them suiting up and working together and everything, but I'll admit it, I really did miss it, and I loved it when everybody teamed back up in this most recent episode. But the one question that this whole situation presents is, does this mean that people like Laurel and Amico are also going to be deputized and now become legal vigilantes, or will Laurel stay on the legal side of things as the DA, and Amico will keep her actions on the DL for a bit longer, just working with Renee and not the rest of Team Arrow at the moment? I honestly think that eventually everyone will come together as the brand new Team Arrow. Laurel will suit back up again, maybe with a slightly different version of her Black Siren suit, and Amico will end up becoming the new Red Arrow and wearing a version of Thea's Speedy suit or her own brand new red suit. Either way, I think it is only a matter of time before everyone is all suited up and working together out in the field. One last quick thing before getting to the future stuff, the next episode is titled Star City Slayer. This episode will most likely see the return of Oliver's old prison random pal, that being Stanley Dover, who in the comics is, surprise surprise, also known as the Star City Slayer, so it does seem like he is going to be the one who has been leaving those creepy notes around for the members of Team Arrow, and will be hunting them all down one by one in this episode as a way to try to get back at Oliver. I don't think anyone will actually die, but we shall wait and see. Just based off of the trailer, it does seem like this could also be the episode where we see Dinah get that cut on her neck that we see in the future that may or may not cause her to lose her powers. There is a quick moment within this trailer where it does look like her throat is being cut or slit or something, but it could also just be a red herring, and we'll just have to be on the lookout for whatever causes the future injury for Dinah. But obviously most of the members of Team Arrow are safe because, well, the future, but it would actually be pretty surprising to have a random death at the hands of Stanley within this next episode. But now let's move on to the future portion of the video. At the very end of the 150th episode, we go back to the future and see that none other than Maya, aka Blackstar, aka Mia, was actually watching a bootleg copy of the Vigilante documentary that has been outlawed within that future. And the reason I say Mia is because if you listen back closely to that scene, you can hear that it does seem like Connor actually calls her Mia, which I definitely didn't catch on the first viewing. Let me know if I was just slow to pick up on it, or if you guys actually didn't know about it until you just saw this video, but I just want to know your thoughts on that down in the comments. Did you actually pick up on this? Because I know I didn't, but it wasn't until I actually went back through it and grabbed screenshots for this video that it actually registered with me, and that is what Connor said, hence the whole reason for this portion of the video. Also, only a couple of days after this episode aired, TV Line actually released an interview with Catherine McNamara where she teased a bit of what we can expect with her character over the next handful of episodes, as well as officially confirms the Mia name. Supposedly we will learn a massive piece of info in Monday's episode, so definitely get excited for that, and obviously episode 16, the Star City 2040 episode, will give us even more info on what exactly is going on within the future. I will also link that full interview down in the description if you guys do want to go give it a read for yourselves. Definitely a very interesting one. Now, it was also rumored for quite a while that Mia was her actual name instead of Maya, so that definitely does put a lot more behind the theory that Blackstar is actually a version of Mia Dearden from the comics. But within this scene as well, we also have her make a remark about how vigilantes were the downfall of Star City, and they quote got exactly what they deserved, so that is kind of cryptic but definitely very intriguing. The other very interesting part of this flash forward scene to me was also the reintroduction of the future version of Diggle's son, John Diggle Jr., aka Connor Hawke. Now, this character's triumphant return to the Arrowverse is something we have known about for a little while now, as we actually had C. Shamuka, who plays Amiko Queen, post a picture to her Instagram with not only herself but some of the flash forward crew as well, which included none other than Connor Hawke. So at that point we knew it was only a matter of time before he showed back up. Also, because this picture was posted by Amiko herself, it wouldn't surprise me either if she were to pop up in the flash forwards at some point down the line. But now with the reintroduction of Diggle's son to the flash forwards, it really gets me thinking. A lot of the members of this flash forward storyline crew are actually children of our present day vigilante characters. We have William, who is obviously Oliver's son, we have Zoe, who is Renee's daughter, we now have Connor Hawke, who is Diggle's son, in addition to some future versions of some current day characters, that being Roy, Dinah, and even Renee. But there is also one outlier here, and that is the character of Blackstar, who we now know as Mia. While all we know now is that she had some sort of working relationship with Felicity at some point in the past and is now working with Connor, so far it would seem as if she has no relation to any past, present, or future member of Team Arrow, other than watching that documentary and finding the abandoned quiver. The two big theories going around at the moment as to who Mia really is involves her either being the daughter of Oliver and Felicity or the daughter of Roy and Thea. I think both could honestly work, but if you ask me, I feel like the better and definitely more interesting option would be if she is Roy and Thea's daughter that we all know Roy has never met. So I think that could make for a pretty interesting story, especially now that we know Blackstar's name is Mia, like Mia Dearden, aka a version of Speedy from the comics, and if her parents are both Roy and Thea, this name could be a possible future mantle for another Speedy, so that would certainly make sense. This would also again tie in with the theme of the future characters all having some relation to a current or former member of Team Arrow if they are not one themselves. But then again, this could also mean that she is the daughter of Oliver and Felicity, so I guess we'll just have to wait and find out for ourselves. So whatever ends up happening, it seems like we will learn a lot more over the next bunch of episodes, especially episode 16, which will probably reveal all, or at least a lot, considering it is going to be the full-on flash forward episode. But with that said, guys, overall I absolutely loved the 150th episode celebration of Arrow as a documentary styled episode, and I can't wait to see what comes next in the future stuff, as it definitely has my attention, especially with that Mia name reveal and the reintroduction of Connor Hawke. So I want to know your thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. What did you think of Arrow's 150th episode? What do you think is going on in the future? And what do you think Blackstar's real name being Mia and not Maya means for the future storyline? I want to know your thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.